Hello, everyone, and welcome back to StoryLearn English. Here, you can learn English naturally through calm, simple, and meaningful stories. Today's story is called A Visit to the Zoo. It is a fun, exciting, and educational story for beginners and intermediate learners. So take a deep breath, get comfortable, and let's begin. A Visit to the Zoo. It was a bright Saturday morning. The sun was shining, the sky was clear, and the birds were singing. I was very excited because today was special. Today, my family and I were going to visit the zoo. I had never visited a zoo before, and I had always dreamed about seeing animals up close. I imagined elephants, lions, giraffes, monkeys, and even small, colorful birds. I packed my small backpack carefully. Inside, I put a bottle of water, a notebook, and some snacks. I also carried my camera because I wanted to take many pictures of the animals. When I reached the gate with my parents and my younger brother, the first thing I noticed was the big gate. It was painted green and yellow, and there were pictures of animals on the walls. There was a small shop near the entrance, selling tickets, snacks, and maps of the zoo. I held my ticket tightly in my hand. The smell of popcorn and fresh air made me even more excited. We entered the zoo slowly. The first thing I saw was a large sign that said, "Welcome to the wonderful zoo." We started walking on the wide path. There were many people, some walking slowly, some running with children. The path was clean, and there were small flowers on the side. I could hear children laughing and birds singing. Soon we reached the first animal enclosure. It was the monkey area. I was amazed. The monkeys were small and fast. They jumped from tree to tree. One monkey even came close to the glass and looked at me with big brown eyes. I laughed and waved at it. It seemed to wave back. My younger brother was very excited. He pointed at a monkey and shouted, "Look, that one is eating a banana." I smiled and took a picture. The monkeys were playful, and I could see them interacting with each other. Some were climbing high, some were swinging on ropes. It was fun to watch them. After the monkeys, we moved to the elephant enclosure. The elephants were enormous. I could not believe how big they were. There was a mother elephant and a baby elephant. The mother elephant was eating grass slowly. The baby elephant was playing with water, splashing it with its trunk. I asked my father, "How much does an elephant weigh?" He smiled and said, "A grown elephant can weigh more than 5,000 kilograms. That is about the weight of 10 cars. I was amazed. The elephants moved gracefully, even though they were very large. I wrote a few notes in my notebook because I wanted to remember every detail. Next, we visited the giraffe area. The giraffes were very tall. I had never seen animals that tall before. Their necks were long, and they had small horns on their heads. They ate leaves from tall trees. I held my brother's hand, and we watched quietly. One giraffe came very close to the fence. I felt nervous but happy. It looked at me, and I waved. Its long tongue was moving as it grabbed the leaves. I quickly took a photo. After giraffes, we walked towards the lion's den. I was a little scared because lions are big and strong. There was a large lion lying on the grass. His mane was golden and thick. The lion opened his mouth and let out a loud roar. I jumped back slightly. My younger brother laughed nervously and held my hand. The lions looked calm now, but I knew they were powerful animals. We spent a long time at the lion enclosure. I learned that lions are called kings of the jungle because they are strong and live in groups called prides. I also learned that lions sleep most of the day, sometimes up to 20 hours. I was surprised. I thought they would be active all the time. Next, we visited the zebra area. The zebras had black and white stripes. Each zebra had a different pattern. I touched the glass and watched them walk slowly. They were beautiful. Some were eating grass, some were running around with their friends. After zebras, we moved to the reptile house. It was a little dark inside. There were snakes, lizards, and turtles. I saw a very big python. It was sleeping and moving slowly. I was a little scared at first, but then I realized it was safe behind the glass. There were signs with interesting facts. I learned that some snakes can live for more than 20 years. I also learned that turtles move very slowly, but they can live for many decades. After the reptiles, we went to the bird aviary. It was amazing. There were colorful parrots, peacocks, and small hummingbirds. The birds flew freely in the large enclosure. Some birds sang beautifully, some flew from branch to branch. I could see red, blue, yellow, and green feathers. It looked like a rainbow of birds. I took many pictures because they were so colorful. Then we moved to the kangaroo area. Kangaroos were hopping and playing with each other. Some had small babies in their pouches. I waved at them and took pictures. I thought kangaroos were very unique and interesting. By now, it was lunchtime. We sat on a small bench near a pond. I opened my backpack and ate a sandwich. My brother ate some chips. My parents drank water and juice. We talked about all the animals we had seen. We all agreed that the monkeys and elephants were our favorite. After lunch, we walked slowly. We saw small animals like rabbits, guinea pigs, and goats. There was a small farm area where children could feed some animals. My brother fed a goat with a small carrot. The goat ate it happily. He laughed and said, "It is so soft and nice." Later, we went to a small playground inside the zoo. My brother ran and played on the swings. I sat on a bench and rested. I watched children playing, families laughing, and birds flying around. The park and the zoo felt very peaceful and happy. As the afternoon came, we visited the aquarium section. There were fish of all colors. Some were small and fast, some were big and calm. I loved the bright orange fish. I saw turtles swimming slowly. Some fish were hiding in rocks, and some swam together in groups. It was amazing how colorful and beautiful the underwater world was. Finally, near the exit, there was a small souvenir shop. I bought a small keychain shaped like an elephant. My brother bought a toy monkey. My parents bought postcards with pictures of animals. We laughed and talked about our favorite moments of the day. By the time we left the zoo, the sun was going down. The sky was orange and pink. I felt tired but very happy. I had learned many new things about animals. I had seen animals I had only read about in books. I had spent a wonderful day with my family. On the way home, I looked out the car window. I remembered the monkeys swinging, the lions roaring, the giraffes eating leaves, and the penguins sliding on ice. I knew I would never forget this day. I decided I wanted to visit the zoo again, and maybe one day I would learn even more about animals and their lives.
After writing in my notebook, I realized there were still more areas of the zoo I had not explored. I asked my father, "Can we see the butterfly garden?" He smiled and nodded. "Of course, let's go." We walked slowly to the garden. The moment we entered, I was amazed. Hundreds of butterflies were flying around. They were red, blue, yellow, and orange. Some landed gently on flowers. Some flew close to us, as if they wanted to say hello. My brother tried to catch one, but I quickly stopped him. "Don't touch them. They are very delicate." He nodded and watched them quietly. I followed a bright blue butterfly with my eyes, and it led me to a small pond inside the garden. The pond was full of small fish. The butterflies landed near the water, and I noticed some of them were drinking from the pond. It looked magical. I felt like I had entered another world, a world full of colors, peace, and happiness. After spending some time there, we went to the petting area. A zookeeper was explaining about snakes and lizards. She showed a small green snake and explained how it hunts for food. I listened carefully. I learned that some snakes can sense heat and can find animals even in the dark. Then she brought out a small tortoise. It moved very slowly across her hand. My brother laughed. "It's so slow, it looks like it is sleeping." The zookeeper smiled and said, "Yes, but don't underestimate it. Some tortoises can live for more than 100 years." We thanked the zookeeper and moved to the ape area. The apes were very interesting. There was a group of chimpanzees playing with ropes and sticks. Some were grooming each other, some were swinging from tree branches. One young chimpanzee was trying to throw a small ball to its friend. It missed, and everyone laughed in their own way. I noticed the baby apes were very playful. They reminded me of my little brother. I smiled and said, "They are like children." My brother laughed and said, "I want to play with them." I said, "No, they are wild. We can only watch." After the apes, we walked towards the owl house. It was a small, quiet building. The keeper turned off some lights to help the owls see better. I saw several owls sitting on branches. Their eyes were big and round. They stared at us silently. I learned that owls can see very well at night and can hunt silently. It was amazing how nature works. Outside the owl house, we found a small cafe. We sat and drank juice. I felt tired but happy. I ate a small sandwich and looked around. Children were drawing pictures, parents were talking, and the zoo seemed peaceful and full of life. After resting, we decided to visit the petting area again. My brother wanted to feed the goats and rabbits once more. I joined him. I fed a rabbit some lettuce. It nibbled gently from my hand. I laughed quietly. My brother tried to feed a goat, but the goat pulled the carrot quickly. He laughed and shouted, "It's too fast!" Then we walked to a new section I had not seen before, the butterfly and bird interaction area. Here we could walk among small birds that flew freely. Some birds landed on our shoulders. A small parrot landed on my brother's head. He laughed and tried to speak to it. The parrot made small sounds, and we all laughed together. Later, we walked to the special education zone. There were small classes for children to learn about animals. I saw children touching animal skins, fake ones, and learning how elephants, lions, and giraffes feel. I tried to touch a model of an elephant's skin. It was rough and thick. I learned that elephant skin is very sensitive, even though it looks hard. After that, we decided to see the penguin feeding time. The zookeeper brought fish and fed the penguins. They jumped into the water and caught fish with their beaks. Some slid on ice and seemed very happy. I laughed out loud. Penguins are so funny. My brother said, "I want a penguin as a pet." I laughed and said, "No, they are wild. They live here and are happy." The sun started to go down slowly. The shadows became long and the light turned soft and golden. I realized it was late afternoon. We still had some time, so we walked slowly to the souvenir area. I bought a small giraffe keychain. My brother bought a monkey toy. My parents bought a small book about the zoo and its animals. Before leaving, we walked one last time to the pond with ducks. The ducks were swimming quietly. Some were small, some were bigger. We threw small pieces of bread into the water. The ducks swam and ate happily. It was peaceful. I took some photos to remember this moment. As we walked to the exit, I looked back at the zoo. I remembered the monkeys, elephants, lions, giraffes, birds, penguins, and turtles. I remembered the butterfly garden, the reptiles, and all the learning experiences. I realized the zoo was not just a place to see animals. It was a place to explore, learn, play, and feel connected with nature. On the way home, I thought about the day. I felt tired but full of happiness. I promised myself I would visit the zoo again soon, and next time I would spend more time at each section and learn even more. That night, before sleeping, I wrote in my notebook, "Today was the best day ever. I saw so many animals. I learned so many things. The zoo is amazing. I want to visit again. I feel happy." I smiled as I closed my notebook. I knew this day would be a memory I would never forget. The zoo taught me many things about animals, nature, and family time. I realized that learning English, exploring the world, and spending time with family can all happen in one perfect day. Visiting the zoo was more than fun. It was a day of adventure, discovery, laughter, and learning. And that is why this zoo, with its animals, gardens, and peaceful paths, would always be one of my favorite places in the world. Thank you for listening to this story on StoryLearn English. If you enjoyed a visit to the zoo, please like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more fun and easy English stories. Remember, learning English can be fun and relaxing. Just listen, enjoy, and keep learning English with StoryLearn English.